I haven't done a video in over a week. I've moved house, so that would explain it. And now I'm somewhat settled. I might actually move back in a month. But anyway, in short, metals have come off, miners have come off, dollar and yields have gone up. I was frantically adding at the top. That's a good sign at the top. I never do that. I did that. I regret it. I don't care because I mean I have a long-term strategy. I usually sell when it moves up and buy when it goes down. Here I added because I just thought that we could see a breakout in silver. To be honest, a lot of people thought we'd break out in silver. I still think we're going to break out in silver. But you got sort of two dynamic. Obviously, you got the geopolitical stuff in the background. But interestingly, that didn't really light too much of a fire below gold. Was it priced in? I think gold just cares more about monetary, macroeconomic factors. War is short term. So I don't care too much about how metals react to geopolitical tensions like regional escalations in the Middle East, Ukraine, Russia, that's just ongoing at all times. But you've got the dollar and yields that have gone up. Look at the dollar. All the way down here, we were flushing below 100.5. We even closed below it, reversed, and then, took out this little descending. Here we are, interestingly retesting the ascending. I mean, if you zoom in enough, you'll always find a trend line, but I feel like you got one more level that's up here. If you zoom out a little bit, where are we? I mean, we've come all the way down, so it's a bit of a dead cat bounce. It could go a little higher. I don't know what to think because, when they finally started to raise rates, that's when gold and silver bottomed and went up, which is counterintuitive. And I did suggest, maybe when they finally cut rates, then the market goes down. Maybe the yields go up, and that's sort of counterintuitive. And I thought the gold and silver would go down. Now that didn't happen, but here we do have maybe a bit of a delayed um effect. We got yields going up now. The dollar's going up. That's the dollar. It can go up a little bit more, 103.5. I don't want to read too much into it. I don't want to guess too much. I'll let the chart do it. We can see we've come up. We can go a bit higher. If we go back down, we know support's going to be 100.5, where we just flushed under. So let's just see what happens. For me, resistance is up here. We're kind of at a bit of a resistance here, but if we go up another level, it should be 103.5. If we start to go down, it should be again 100.5-ish. All right, yields. It's interesting. Look at this. Just following the dollar, maybe even stronger. Up we go. Up we go, close to high of day. Again, could go up. Maybe we extend this. Maybe it's going to be the high up here. Maybe it'll coincide with the dollar hitting 103.5, but we can go a little higher. We're kind of at a level, as you can see, a bit like the yields. This I can get rid of. This is long gone. That's the 30. The 10 will be, look at that. Look at that. Look at the 10. Close at high of day. Could go a little higher. Could go a little higher. I mean, it suggests it wants to go a bit higher, doesn't it? Not just the daily close, but the next level of resistance, clear resistance, is a little higher. So you could see some follow through. Let me just look at the 2 year, which is usually weaker. Look at that. I mean, that was really the last line in the sand. Look, that's what I thought might happen. Definitely not. Well, it's obvious to say now, but we hit the low levels of support, and that the technicals were there, and then up you go. And to be honest, that was a long way down there. That's probably asking a bit too much too fast, but resistance is there. So I think if you look at all of them, yields, the dollar, and all types of yields, you've got strong daily closes and a little bit of room, a little bit more of a room to move. So that's dollar and yields. By the way, the markets, that does kind of look at that. That's starting looking a bit toppy. Like it could go a little lower, which would coincide with the dollar and yields going up. And then you start to hit support, and you don't want to flush too much below that. That's the S&P, the Dow Jones, a little lower. You should have some support there. The Russell, not as obvious. The Nasdaq, not as lot obvious, but it could still go down, hit very, very short-term support. Let's look at gold and silver. Now, you know, gold, quite strong resistance, quite strong resistance. A lot of red, lower highs, but also higher lows. It's sort of converging. Maybe the 15-minute chart would be good here. Oh, it's just so messy. It's quite messy. But I wouldn't even really want to draw too many lines here on the 15-minute. I just let it do its thing. I feel like what it could do is just come down to this little messy area here. Maybe that's what it needs to do. Because even if you hit this ascending, it's still very, very steep incline, very, very bullish. You could hit like several levels on the way down, still be extremely bullish chart pattern. So gold, it would make sense if it goes lower. Um, I'll get to the miners in a bit, but because I was moving, I didn't have time at all to add to stocks. And I think I got a bit lucky there because I'm pretty sure I would have added to some like CDE. I'll get there in a second, but I do feel like it could come down a bit more. So that last tranche of buying where I was adding, and I'll get to that in a second, you know, core trading doesn't really change much overall in my strategy. Or, I mean, normally I buy drops, sell pops. And it's funny, I was buying even higher than what I was selling before. I'll get to it in a second, but I think I'll just wait for the drop. If we reverse and go up, fine, good. I'll probably end up back at my buy levels in 1 or 2 days, maybe just one if it's a good day, especially if silver has a great pop. But otherwise, I'm going to look for another buy the dip moment. Not yet, though. That's gold. I don't want to read too much into it, but you can see I'm just like a bit more bearish, very, very short term, just because of the dollar and yields and the fact that we're exhausted here. Silver, I'll look at the other silver. Silver for me, you've got this candle here, this Friday candle, we're breaking out. We made a new high, but it's a good close actually. And to be honest, if I had time, I was going to make a video on Friday and say Monday should be really good. And then Monday was today, big red candle. So I think I would have been wrong if I made a video on Friday. I mean, not wrong, but I would have been very bullish. I wouldn't have expected what happened today, which is Monday, by the way, very late Monday for me. And here we're kind of at support, so we're not bearish, but it's sort of disappointing, but it's still sideways price action. If gold comes down, you'd expect silver to come down. To be honest, silver had a very strong Friday. I think what was it, NFP, and normally gold would be a lot more redder than it was, and silver was actually green. So it's very, very bullish, relatively speaking, compared to other NFP days where gold and silver hit. So it's neither bullish nor bearish. If I had to err on one side, it would be slightly bearish, and that's just me being greedy, thinking I could buy a lower dip. If silver comes down, I'm sorry, it's still very, very. Remember what gold's done: new highs, new highs, new highs. Silver hasn't done that yet, right? Nowhere near. Finally started to take this out. Finally made a new high up here above 32.5, and again on Friday. And where are we now? We're just making the handle, right? Keep it simple. It's a cup, it's a handle. Now, if gold drops a bit more, like I think it's definitely possible, it can just be a lower handle. What it's not going to do, in my opinion, is go all the way down there, right? I mean, that's just, for me, that's not going to happen. All right, I'll just chill out with these moves. All right, let's look at the miners. Miners are weaker, okay? Normally you'd want them to be stronger, but they're underperforming a little bit, but it's okay because it made a new high, right? They're stronger than silver. Here's your cup, but we broke out. And here's a handle, which is basically, it's not really a cup and handle, but you know what I mean? Like we're retesting breakout. This is still your breakout. So we're retesting prior resistance. So miners overall, not really weak on like a medium term basis. Like we're down here, we're retesting prior, resistance, acting as support. We've also got this line in the sand here. So we're kind of hitting two support zones, this descending and this like the last low down here. And also we didn't really close the low of day. Still down sort of 2%, GDXJ. Not great, but and again, if gold flushes another level, we could come down here. That's for me the next level. Quite simply, you got a gap to fill right after that, and there's only one daily candle separating like the low from here to there. So it's pretty simple. It's a big move though. It's a big move. So that flush in gold, yeah, you could have one big bad day, another bad day in the miners. But again, it'll still be a very bullish chart, hit this ascending, it'll probably bounce before hitting the ascending, and back up we go, to retest the old highs. So that it's so bullish that you could have another level drop and still be bullish. Still J, same thing. We could come down here and we're still actually feel like it would. still be outperforming. GDXJ is actually lower. So SILJ, which proves the point of how strong silver is very, very recently, SILJ could come down here and be where GDXJ is now. And then if we really go down, then it goes all the way down here. And it's still bullish because, we just made a new high. So you have room for another serious drop or two and still be bullish. And there's so many levels of support on gold and so many reasons to buy it long term that and plus we're in the rate cutting scenario. We're in the war scenario. We're in the monetary debasement globally. I mean, there's every single star aligned. GDX, that's actually one of the more weaker ones, funnily enough. And is that bullish? Oh, the juniors are starting to pick up, maybe. But you do have another level to drop before you get that, gap zone. They've all got the same chart pretty much. That was quite interesting that it rallied a bit. Did it just about rally? I don't know, but it's at a level of support. But as we know, DXY yields, they could move up a bit. The markets, metals and mines could move down another level, but we're still good. So I think it's a buy the dip moment. Let's look at the actual portfolio. I'm going to run through this very quickly because it's very late and I'm just trying to get back into my routine videos here. Newmont, pretty good. Let's be honest. Not even down like 0.5% pretty much. Nice hammer, still within this very steep ascending. Although, is that really accurate? Yes, it is actually. Now it's accurate. Now it's really within it. Look at that. That's very good. If I was really trying to be precise, I would take a 15-minute and say, okay, look at this. We're gonna break out of this, then you buy it like a daily close, 53.5, bam, up you go. I mean, the point is Newmont looks really strong and it's been one of the stronger ones for a long, long time. I need to clear this chart up. This has completely lost its relevance now, but you can see the ascending. The lines speak for themselves. I don't need the yellow, but you can see the ascending support there. And look at that nice hammer, and it's outperformed, and it's Newmont. Good news behind its sales. Nowhere near taking out its old highs, whilst other stocks like Agnico have. So this is just all the reasons to add to this one. So Newmont looks very good. Barrick Gold looks pretty good. Good news behind it also. You've got this little gap fill that it's done, and you can see support is pretty much here. I'll just drop it because it actually is about here, just below 20. So that level was okay. This was support and resistance. I think we can take it out. You should be playing for a larger gain than that. So this looks okay. Next level, yeah, it's down here. After that, it's all the way down here. Again, I see one more move down, maybe, but not two big moves down. Otherwise, next move up, definitely Barrick Gold can make that. Agnico Eagle, that's interesting. Outperformed today. Quite a weak chart, but it's because it's been so strong. And now you're testing very, very steep support. It's hard to hold that, but look at that candle. That's pretty good. So I think it qualifies as still within support in case my chart is off by a bit. But that's pretty good, actually. Prior resistance, maybe. Next level is down here. It's the low. Yeah, I agree with that. So it could go down another level and then come back up. I'm not sure how much support this ascending will be. And then this is the next massive move down. I don't see Agnico doing that. It's just too strong. Pan America, next one. I haven't gone through all my levels, but you can see this one seems to hold. This sort of, oh yeah, 20, okay, 21. Big round number also. After that, 20.5. Yeah, when in doubt, 50-cent increments. After that, actually, look at that. 20 is not even a level. It's the low of this day, 19.7. I kind of agree. I mean, if silver and gold flush, this will definitely hit this level, could hit this level. There's no real clear ascending support actually on this. I mean, I could try and draw one in, but to me, there's no clear level. I'll leave this one in. It might end up being extra strong here on the gap fill because you got gap fill, you got horizontal and ascending. So maybe it's just below 20, like 19.5-ish. Let's see. Resistance, you probably got a little resistance here, but I don't want to be too detailed. Big picture. If silver starts to break out 32.50, it could do it in 2 days. Pan America just turns around and runs to its old high of 24.5. So this chart could be, reversed very, very quickly on the way up. On the way down, I expect strong support, especially just below 20, just below 20, especially here on this. Actually, yeah, the ascending, I expect it to be quite good. Next, Wheaton. This one's got ascending. This one did a gap fill. That's interesting. It's already done its gap fill. Next big level is the next drop. So if we get another drop, Wheaton, which you'd expect to be one of the stronger ones on the defensive drop. I feel like it's a little relatively weak, but that's made new all-time ever historic highs. So fair enough. It can come down a bit more. I honestly I haven't looked at my portfolio much in a week. It's just been chaos moving. But I would be interested to see if it's worth adding to Wheaton, actually. Some of the seniors look Wheaton. I don't know how to see, but Wheaton is interesting. All right, next one, Franco Nevada. Yeah, never took out this 130. Never did a daily close above 130. That's strong, strong resistance. Next time we move up, that will definitely be resistance. These not as obvious. I'll delete. I'll only keep the obvious ones. This probably was a bit of a level, but I'll remove it. This is a bit more of a level, I would say. It's hard. It's hard. Franco Navarro is quite a tough one to call. But yeah, here that's the easiest level. So if we it looks like it's trying to find support where it is though. Actually 120, that kind of makes sense. It's a bit of a psychological number. You can see, look at this double bottom here, absolute like double bottom on the low of day between Friday and Monday. And it's just feeling like it's going to curl a bit. So maybe 120 is a level. Go on, I'll just add this here. If we drop another level, then it should be 118-ish. And then the absolute next level will be down here. I don't expect that. On the way up, tiny resistance up here, strong resistance here, and absolute resistance at 130. Keep it simple. Metalla, very steep ascending, could lose it, could be a fake flush. Look at that close at the low of day. It's been pretty strong, I think, relative to others, just holding this level. It's such a shame though. It just needed a little bit more, and then it's finally going to close above 350, and finally it can run to a level it's never really ran to, which is 4. But here it's testing ascending. I expect it to be quite strong actually. It's been strong for a long time around here, above 3. Would this be a level? Maybe, but definitely $3. You know what? I'm going to remove this. It's the same thing. I'll keep the ascending, but tomorrow it could be deletable. Close at low of day, interesting. But resistance is clearly 340, just below 340 actually. This level here is no longer the case because that's no longer ascending. I'm going to just leave one support level, and that's 305-ish. If you have a big bad day, 305 should be good support. After that, it's going to be retest of this. That'd be really disappointing. That would destroy the momentum, I think. And absolute low levels down here. Right. Time to look at some silver stocks. First Majestic. This is one of the ones I chased. Where did I buy that? My God. Look at that shame though. Wow, look at this resistance here. Look at this descending, how much of resistance that was. Look at this one here. Bam, it hits it. It's that 680 level. It was 680. It's double resistance, this horizontal level plus here. And it was sold off just before 680. Don't wait for the big round numbers. So I'll move this here. That's obviously resistance. This I'll move up here, although that kind of was correct. 660-ish. It's really the descending resistance now. That's the big one. This can go. Support is going to be here, definitely correct. So just below $6, 590, I would say that's good level. So another flush. How much of a drop would that be from here to there? Yeah, 4-5%. That's a big bad day. I mean, probably go down more if there's a big flush in silver, but I think First Majestic is a buy the dip candidate. It should become a beast of a silver company now with its, what was it, Gato merger, and it's doing buybacks or something. So this is a buy the dip candidate. I always am a fan of buying depressed, good stocks, and I consider this now to be a good stock after good news. And it's a bit like Newmont, it's a bit like First Majestic. So for me, it's a buy the dip candidate. I already chased the pop. I bought the dip, but chased the pop. So This one I will not wait too long to see how good a price I get. So keep it simple. This level, I really doubt we get down to 520. It's for me, it's true. After 590, which is kind of the only clear level, it could be six, like 603 the low. But actually, if we have a big bad day in silver, First Majestic has to go down. It's a bit like if you have a really good day in silver, even if First Majestics had bad news, or like EXK or Fortuna that had bad news, they'll still have like plus 11% day. So here it'll come down if there's a good, it might end up closing with a big strong bounce, closing at high of day, but it could have that big drop if silver has a bad day. I just don't see it going all the way down to here. But if we do, I am buying because we know that they're doing buybacks down here. So it's almost free money. Next one, Fortuna. That's a weaker one. Look at that. Bam. Down entire level. This is perfect, the levels. That horizontal, it was clearly support. It was clearly resistance today. Next level, it was clearly resistance, support, and today's support. So very nice. Uh, there's not much point in extending this because we're pretty much hitting horizontal. So let's just do that. I'm going to keep these levels. This is obviously support. So if we have another drop, then Fortuna should go to 412, probably a little higher. And that's a support zone. And after that, we've got this low down here. So yeah, Fortuna, actually, you know what? We could even have a bit of an ascending. Wow, look at that. It really is at support right there. But you still have lower levels. Pretty good buy zone in Fortuna, as long as we don't go lower in silver. On the way up, yeah, horizontal, horizontal. Let's extend this. I think these are really good levels. Next one is my favorite that had bad news, apparently bad news. These are good levels too. So we hit support today, just above six, okay, six, big round number. You can see clear resistance, clear support, clear support, clear support. Very easy to call, I think. Nice bounce, didn't close near low of day, so that's looking pretty good. God, I should have bought some, I think. And what was the news? I am never good at news, but the news was a merger with oh my God, what was the name of the stock? Silvercrest, was it? Anyway, look, other people know more than me on that. I think it's supposed to be a good deal, supposed to make it a good company long term. Did they buy? Did they not get the best deal? I don't know, but it should become a monstrous company. If silver goes up, this will be a monstrous company. And the market didn't like the news. I think, from the very little I know, that it's actually not the worst news. I think long term it makes it a stronger company. And I think it's a blessing in disguise because you've got CD that just had good news, by the way. We've come down from, I was buying up here. My God, really shameful stuff. It's extremely rare that I do. And I'm almost happy that I got it on tape because I still think long term this will go up. Boom, double figures easily in a few months. We've come down how much? We've come down 20 something percent. We're down to post good news area. So for me, tomorrow, if we have any red or Lord forbid or Lord allow, we have some bad news and it fills the gap because that's the next level. I'm buying. I'm buying. This a bit like First Majestic is a buy the dip candidate in my humble opinion. And just in case there's some absurd abnormalities and we flush even more, then buy there. Easy to say, if you've got a really big red day, and I don't see this happening, it's quite scary to buy, but then you end up with the big hammer and oh, it was so obvious after the fact evaluation. So let the chart do it. If we go up, I think those horizontals are pretty clear resistance levels. So I agree with all the levels here. I think they worked out quite well. And I'm quite happy I didn't buy because honestly, I would probably bought on this Friday. I think it was down quite a lot on that Friday, like 11%. And even more today. I actually don't think we're going to go below $6 tomorrow, the day after, etc. Unless we get that big flush. Right, Heckler. This looks like it's hitting very strong support. We have clear resistance, right? Clear, even down here, by the way. Probably even after, before that. Not as much, but still clear, clear, clear stuff. Okay, here we break out and now we're retesting. That's what this one is. Plus, we've got this ascending. Horrible. Plus, we've had good news. So it's such a buy. I need to make a note to myself. Heckler, CD, and First Majestic. Buy very aggressive silver stocks that have just had good news. And by the way, that are pretty damn cheap still. Heckler, maybe not as much as First Majestic and CDE, but still, I like winners. Nothing else to say. Clear support. There's your next one after that. Um, Go on, just in case. We're not going down there. I really doubt it. On the way up, your resistance will be, it won't be this actually. It will be probably this little level here before hitting the old high. Yeah. All right, next one, EXK. Just continuing higher lows. That's not that bad. For a stock that's had really bad news and flushed, it's actually holding up a bit better than I thought. Still got that annoying Friday candle, which is bearish short term. But actually today was okay. And yeah, those levels I kind of agree with. That's resistance. Maybe got a little bit of support here, by the way, 390. But anyway, 380 seems stronger. This is very clear support. And by the time it gets there, if we start to move down, you may even be towards ascending support. So yeah, I'll leave that as it is. On the way up, you've got that's your new resistance, and then etc. etc. Very surprised that it's holding up quite well though. Next, Mag Silver. Mag Silver, green in a sea of red. I think it had good. Did it have good news recently? I don't know, but the stock looks probably more bullish than any other stock I've looked at today. Well, Newmont was quite good. Um, yeah, it might be the strongest one after even before Newmont. So resistance, straight away, I'm covering resistance, which proves how strong I think it is. 1550, big round number, last high. After that, to be honest, after that should be easy to keep going. Yes, I'm gonna delete that because realistically, if you take out 1515, you're gonna go for something like 17. So actually, this is not resistance. 1550, 17. After 17, yeah, 1850, we're probably doing some special things here. And this might coincide with upcoming news. Who knows, another merger. There's lots of merger talk, well, activity going on. We get talk. Now, in case we just flush support, I feel like combining these two support levels. You know what? I would just delete that and say that's your support. Kind of bearish, making a bit of an average. And this I delete. Just clean it up a bit. Keep it simple. You're having support around there, right? And if you flush down to this level, a bit like the other stocks we were looking at. Then you got a gap fill immediately next. I don't think we're going down there, but anyway, I agree with all those levels. Next one, almost. All right, it's mining. Oh wow, down, 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 down. Look how many red days that is. No, that's a green day. Um, that is your gap fill. Let's make it more precise. It should be at support now. That was not really a level. Okay, let's talk about support. This seems a bit weak, so there's your next one. So if we go down another level, down we go, and after that, yeah, down we go there. Interesting, quite weak, actually. Might make for a nice 15-minute descending breakout chart, like one of these. I'll add it in my favorite types. It's hard to see on daily, but I'm not in a hurry to get into this one. There are others I prefer, and I got enough in it, so I don't mind holding this, but that's quite weak compared to others. Um, yeah, let's see what happens here. In no hurry. Should be pretty strong long term. Good dividends, good people invested in this one. It's a bit of a secret gem. So I'm just gonna hold that. That's all. Next one, AmGold. Now, here we have some I told you so moments, not from me. I mean, I knew it's Barrett Gold, it's I Am Gold, it's B2 Gold. They own operations in, in let's call it Central Africa, where the East, the Southern East empire, the new emerging, the stronger empire, let's be honest, China, Russia, Iran, the BRIC nations, they are China, Russia, and actually mainly Russia, I would say, but they are taken over, long overdue. we're getting kicked out for bullying everyone for just decades. Um, yeah, they're talking about getting rid of the mining rights of some Western companies, and I am gold is hit from that. That's as far as I know. I think B2 Gold should also be hit because Burkina Faso is pretty much in alliance. It's like one nation, pretty much, along with Niger. So I think a lot of other companies should be hit more. Although I don't know if it's really, really true because there are other talks of some of these companies not being impacted. I don't know. It's all talk, but I think it would make sense if they just get rid of all the Western nations, just nationalize, take over the mines, keep the equipment, kick all the Westerners out, and just take over. And they'll probably do a bad job at it, but still, your share price will get whacked. You may even lose all your money. So down goes I am gold. Big drop. They've had good news recently. Stock was really good and then just gap down, doesn't care about any support. This should have been support, but the news is so bad that it just flushes. For me, it is inevitable that it goes back to retest this level, closed at low of day. Although after hours we seem okay, but one more flush in the metals, we're visiting 440, just below 440. And who knows? I'll add this one. Actually, if it takes 1 or 2 or 3 days to come down, even to here, you could end up here at 385. But you probably should buy just a bit above. If you're still interested in buying, you could get very scared here. But I'll let the chart do it here. And for me, there's no point in buying where it is. It's probably going to go lower if the metals go lower. So I am gold. Very surprising. It's very, I love this stock. I'm completely in the black. Just bought it. I forgot like three is my average or something. And I've been trimming on the way up. But still, it's a fast drop. And why add more? That's what I'm thinking for myself. I've got enough in there. Actually, it's one of my lighter holdings. I could add if it really drops more for a little bounce. And I still think long term it looks beautiful, but when you just don't need to invest more with an area with jurisdictional risk. And I think it's pretty high that you just get kicked out. So why not add to Newmont or First Majestic instead? That's what I'm thinking. Just hold, or maybe add if there's a bounce, add and then out, 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 and just or maybe just keep a very, very small amount. Anyway, I'll wait and see, but I think you can get that a little lower. B2 Gold. Down we go. Now they had a deal with the government of Mali, if I remember correctly. So that's why we had that pop. So we don't really see impact. It looked down not even 1%, whilst iron gold is down 10. Well, it's at a level. This was completely correct, 305-ish. That's your level for now. This also should be a bit of a level. Maybe it's so close to the descending, which is the real resistance. You could probably take that away. So for me, I'm going to keep this. This is a horizontal resistance, but let's also remember the descending. Otherwise, yeah, the rest, I agree, not changing anything. If we go down another level, down we go to here, it's probably a good buy because that's like post. You're getting to buy back at an area before the good news was out, although it's probably out here. But yeah, then you got your gap fill. So for me, these levels are completely correct. Next, Equinox. Not the best, come down quite a bit. Gone right through the gap fill as if it didn't. No, actually, it was 2 days of respect, but down we go, closing below it. Next level is here. I will remove the yellow. I'll keep the horizontal, but interesting how it didn't care too much about the gap fill. To be honest, we've retested the descending and not really cared about it. So that can go to, um, yeah, this might be a bit of a level. It's hard to call, actually. Hard to call. I'll do it in between both. This is for sure resistance, for sure, double top. But still, it's still got that same sort of pattern, that sort of cup and handle. We just need that handle. I still think it's a wonderful job, but I think a lot of debt Equinox, but still a long-term fantastic hold, in my opinion. So maybe you can get it cheaper, closing the low of day. Another flush in the metals, you could get it down 520, which is a regular area to buy. Huh? I was buying very often in this sort of little 520 area. Then you had this little dip down here, which was fantastically bought on the dip. Fantastic support there. But this 520 historically, medium term, big buy zone. Next one, SSRM. Oof, what happened here? To be honest, that's quite strong. Closed in low of day. Retesting the descending kind of, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of support, wasn't it? But then, damn, we went right down below. Next stop is here, fill the gap. It's not the most obvious support level. Then down here, I don't think we're getting there. I still think it's doing okay. And again, it's that cup and handle, except remember this cup went to new highs, and here's the handle, and it still looks, and it's got to happen. It's got to happen. And by then, this descending will be closer and more realistic to as a target to get to. So I'll leave this in as it is. Last one, just damn late. SPSW just coming down today, but actually look, even Friday, new highs. So one of the better performing commodity stocks. I still think that can go all the way up there. And we're pretty much where we were Thursday, so that's looking okay. Support resistance completely correct in my opinion. Won't change anything. All right, look, I just wanted to do a video now. It's a little bit rushed, but I still think it was quite decent. Yeah, so I moved into a new place. So hopefully now I'm more prepared to do more regular videos. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to buy actually. There's a few I'd like to buy. I need to look at the value of some of the stocks. I haven't looked into the general in interactive brokers platform to see the value, but I generally know what it is. But according to what I've just looked at, I'm interested in First Majestic to add, Coeur d'Alene to add, maybe Newmont. The value's below 5K. And maybe I am gold if it goes down more tomorrow. Not much though. It's a bit risky. Maybe Heckler. Not as strong as First Majestic or Coeur d'Alene, but still a very good stock with good news behind it that could go up nicely if silver starts to do its thing. What else? What else? Maybe Wheaton. I don't know. But I'm watching silver and gold and the dollar and yields and everything. All right, let's see what happens tomorrow.